And we're live, everybody. Welcome to another amazing Dirty Four quarantine night. I'm here with the amazing Julie Barbeau. She's an amazing Montreal local actress. She's been in a few films, and one of them, she was in the film Night Shift with myself, Massimo Canestraro, Guido Grasso, and it was produced by Lonely Path Films. And ladies and gentlemen, I'm so happy that she's here. Hello, Julie, ça va?
Hola, Claudio. ¿Cómo está? Good morning.
Good. Jess Sorrell is here. She goes, "Hello, Jess." Jess is already from is all the way from Australia. So
No.
yeah.
Hey,
Jess.
buddy.
Hey, Jess. Hey, Jess. Julie wants to know what time is it in Australia?
That's true.
Yeah. Because every time when we go on, Jess is like, "Oh yeah, it's sometime over. It's 8:30 a.m." and we're like, "Thanks, Jess. Thanks." Melanie Azaf is on. Hello, Melanie. Hello. So she's another amazing person that's on. So Mel, Julie.
All these females, right, Claudio? Oh my God.
I don't know. This is the most action I've heard. So Julie, so tell everyone like a little bit about yourself and why did you choose acting? Like, what is your favorite role in the film industry?
Okay, so did I choose acting? That's always a thing. I think I would have chosen it younger. Never thought I could make a living out of it. Of course, family was not necessarily also pushing me in that direction, which is not a bad thing, because I've done so many other things. I've lived abroad. I was a flight attendant for many years. I also were working in the casino. I was a croupier. I was a singer, still am. So eventually I decided to make a dream come true and just take an acting class. And that acting class meant that I met my mentor. Today is still my mentor. Others came along the way. Never thought I would kind of make a career out of it, but then that was my story. I actually started to have an agent, then started booking gigs, and then here I'm with Claudio. Hey, what do you mean?
Oh man, no, that's So you were a flight attendant?
Oh yeah, I was a flight attendant for many years. I actually finished my career. I was a flight attendant for the government. Which meant that I have the Premier Ministre on board, which at the time was Monsieur Bernard Landry. That was the Prime Minister at the time, so I flew him around. And also we had the ambulance, les avions ambulance, which meant that we'd go pick up people in the restricted parts of Quebec and brought them back into the hospitals where they could have actually more particular people and staff with their means, like we would end up sometimes really up north, Coudjouac and whatnot, and bring back the people in either to Quebec or Montreal. So that was actually fascinating medically wise, which means that now when I have roles as a nurse, I can also relate to that. I can relate to so much different things that I've done in my life, and that makes me, I think, at some point a little bit, more open to what is thrown at me as an actor. Which reminds me, I was a nurse in Night Shift.
Yes, you were. Yes, actually, you want to know?
Worker, actually.
You want to know something really odd about that, and that odd me being slow as heck. So when I first saw the rough cut of the film, and I saw like the scene with you and Massimo, and then there was a word night shift in there. Like, it didn't occur to me that you were a nurse in the film. I'm like, well, what is this girl doing? what's her motive with Massimo, like in the film? Like what? And then they were telling me, oh, she's a nurse, and I'm like, oh, no.
It's a very, very subtle thing, because actually you see me with my scrubs. I'm wearing the scrubs. That is actually kind of the only cue that you kind of get, which I actually like throughout the whole film, because even myself, there's many parts that I wasn't there on set. So when I got to see the whole film put together, they're very good of not giving it all to the spectator. I love that. It's so smart, because actually you have to kind of watch it again. I actually done it, and I thought, oh, that's there and that's there, but it just comes, in spurs, which is so intelligent, but it's in the montage. The brilliancy is in the montage, and if you actually really slow it down or watch it again, this is all those kind of mini informations that actually gives you a lot of the story and the characters. It's really, really well done.
Oh yeah, no, it really was. By the way, so Melanie's on, Jess is on, Dave Magini, who's part of the Lonely Path Films, and who's the co-director of the Night Shift. He's on here. Hey, Dave. But no, I'll be honest with you, I had no idea what I was walking into. Like my scene was just sitting at the bar, and I'm like, oh, this is gonna be a really good movie. But the love interest was just like, holy crap, who the hell is he dating? Because and I told this to Anthony, like your character was just, it was subtle and it was kind of mysterious. Like I thought it was like a femme fatale. Like I honestly thought you were gonna come there.
Actually, I don't know if I can say that because Dave is listening, but we shot. It wasn't at the end of the montage, but they actually wanted to kind of go there. Sexy wise, there actually were scenes. Actually, maybe someday I'd love to see that because there's somewhere around the rough cut on the floor. But there were scenes of me and Massimo playing around, and so where we're actually getting it on, and it didn't make it to the film. Maybe run a longer version, but that femme fatale, I got to play with Massimo a little bit with that, which actually was cool.
Yes, okay.
Yeah, showing the bra.
Well, yeah, okay. Hey, you had my curiosity, now you have my attention. No, but honestly, it was really good. Melanie's like, Melanie wants to know, which acting school did you go to? Because I went to acting school too at some point too.
Okay. I've actually done everything in Montreal, although that is kind of not true because I've also studied in New York. My process of working is called the organic creative process. It actually comes from John Strasberg, which is actually Lee Strasberg's son. John actually took his father's work and played around with it and actualized it, if you wish. And so I've been doing the process with Gilles Plouffe in Montreal. He's the coach. He's my mentor that I mentioned earlier in the podcast. Gilles is my mentor, and we actually opened a production company, which is the productions is called en français les productions rêves intentionnelles, intentional dreams production. We actually opened also the Plateau Théâtre. It's actually a theater now that we have. And Gilles was the only one that is mandated from John Strasberg to give the organic creative process, to teach it here in Montreal. So I've been working with Gilles, and I've gone to New York to work with John for many hours working with John Strasberg. Then after, when I really felt that I did have my process down as an actor, I went a little bit out there, and then I worked with Danielle Fichot. En français, Danielle Fichot c'est une chirurgienne de l'acting. She is one of the best. She actually is going to be worldwide known in a couple weeks. She is playing Céline Dion's mother in the new Céline Dion's film, which is called Aline de Dieu. So that's my other mentor and coach, is Danielle Fichot. So those are the two main ones. I've also taken kind of classes here and there, but their main influences and the main people who I trust and who have, made the actor that I am today, I would say those are the main three people. Yeah.
Okay, cool, awesome.
Thank you for the question, Melanie.
yeah, Mel, she answered her question, and take time to know, Mel. And now Dave Magini is like, that will be in a director's cut.
Yes.
Okay, yeah, okay. It's gonna be.
I mean.
How long is the scene? Out of curiosity.
I don't know how long the scene would be. I don't know how they had planned it out, but we actually shot that. I would say we played around it for at least an hour, kind of playing. We would dance, and we would actually cuddle, and we would flirt. And if I'm not mistaken, maybe we kind of kissed also. It's actually one of my rare, or was it my first one, on-screen kiss with a man. Ooh. I've had on-scene kiss with women.
Oh, okay,
Not with a man. That would have been
Ooh.
one of my first. And it was the first time I met Massimo was when we shot that day.
Oh,
So that was also very interesting very enigmatic. It's like I felt like he was like actor studio working, because he either is like that or he was so in character that I just felt that he kept it the whole way through, the whole day through. It was just it was actually really interesting to work with, because that famous thing that we say, just don't sell me, tell me. I was sitting with him, and working with him, and that's what I felt the whole time. He wasn't selling anything. He was just telling. And I think the beautiful actors, the most, is when they do nothing. They just the life within, and it just comes across, and they're just there. They're just, and that was the main moment for me that stuck working with Massimo. And something worked, because he did win Best Actor, right? So I'm just saying.
Jesus, that was like the longest 3 minutes description of having a sex scene with Massimo. Jesus.
He's not married. He's off the market.
Yeah. but I'm like, wow, Massimo's in character. I'm like, yeah, whenever I see Massimo on stage, he's Massimo. And then he's just a guy who goes, bro, they'll laugh at me for like 5 minutes, but no, it's really interesting. And the fact that it's your first role, like sex, I mean, kissing role with a man.
Yeah.
I'm like, what? Damn. All right. There's more you than meet the eye.
Yeah. No, actually, for some reason, the male, that's another thing, because Anthony actually came to me with this role, which I was actually really excited, because it would have been it was my first time really having a romantic moment with a man. I usually, for some reason till now, it hasn't come. I have a lot of the mother figure. I have a beautiful short film out there also. It's called Zaya, which actually won a couple awards as well. And I have this beautiful relationship with my daughter, who comes out to me. And I have a lot of those roles: the mothers, the very the woman and actually, scoop. I had an audition on Monday. A big audition for a new Québécois TV series that is not yet out there. It's started to shoot. It's going to be coming out only in January. It's the first role, recurring first role, and I got the part.
Oh, nice!
I know.
Nice.
It's kind of crazy. It's going to be my first time having first role on a Québécois series. I've done second roles, Unité Neuf and whatnot, but this will be the first time I'm going to be walking on set as a first role actor. And as a lawyer, which comes to the question, what would have been roles that I want to be playing in? I wanted to be a lawyer for the longest time. I'm a Suits fan, so I hope they get to dress me up as a, Jessica Damn Pearson. And
Damn. Okay. Okay, this new series, is it a sitcom? Is it a drama?
It's a Québécois drama. It's actually, I feel that, Québécois are actually kind of good at juggling a little bit of both, it's like the dramedies, I kind of want to say. It's called Les Moments Parfaits.
Ooh.
And Les Moments Parfaits. So, at this point, it's a little bit hush-hush. The names are not coming out, but that I can say. And I've hesitated because, there's that thing is like, I'm shooting next week. So it's like, and so many things can happen, but I'm going to trust it. And at least I'll have this moment that I could have seen myself live going all excited for a freaking first role, if whatever happens. But Les Moments Parfaits. And hopefully it's going to be one of those, well-watched, series in Quebec and en français.
Nice. Oh, yeah. No, you have to.
In the two languages.
Okay, yeah, no, because you have to add on français because
Français.
Because since we're awesome. Honestly, congratulations. Like I saw you, and now I'm not being stalkerish here. Like I actually saw a few of your films, and I saw you Unité Neuf, and I don't know. Like to me, Unité Neuf is a bit. I don't know what it is. it's awesomely weird. Like I don't know how to explain it. It's like when I see you eating enough, I'm like, huh, okay, it's fun. No, it's good, but I don't know. It's
Maybe,
just awesome.
maybe is it because it's something like the credibility of it all? Sometimes, trying to really make believe that everything of this is going to in prison, as it's it's an environment that is really rough. So we know, of course, these
Yeah,
are professional actors and they're doing fantastic job. That's not what I'm saying, but it's such a big environment and so heavy. You have to sometimes maybe to fall into it, to drop into it. You have to suspend the disbelief, obviously. But ugh, I kind of get it. I have to say, because we're on that topic, I
Mhm.
think that what it did not help, and I'm going to do that race card, which I don't do often, but
Go ahead.
sadly, I mean, we know that percentage-wise, people who are in prison, they're part of the minorities. There's a lot of them out there, and
Mhm.
there was not that many, or should I say, almost none of the main actors that were part of that minority. That for me, that would get me out of the story. That was one of the things that didn't feel for me that was credible, because we know the percentages so sadly are so high for many reasons that we might not get into, because we could go on for 2 hours. But that would have, if they would have gone a little bit more into that more diverse casting, I think for me would have done it a little bit more.
Oh yeah, no. Actually, you know what? Since a little bit on that topic, I know a lot of actors and actresses who say the exact same thing as you, and I'm totally with that, like 100%. But as you mentioned, we're gonna be here for 5 hours, which I don't mind, but it's up to you. No, but that like I understand what you're saying, and it's like a little bit of diversity. But hey, you know what? It's like again, I have a fuck. I don't know how to put. Like I'm trying to watch myself. It's like
Yeah,
that's
I can feel that. What's going on, Dirty Four?
no. See, that's why, like for example, that's why I'm going back to Night Shift and I'm going back to Mafia Inc. I'm going back to some other films. Like if you're going to do like a film on diversity or pick an ethnicity, then go ahead and do all that. But since like Unity Nef is like a multicultural stirring pot, right? Then yeah, that's what I was saying. I was watching Unity Nef and like, man, there's like a whole lot of white people in jail. Damn right. Like there's this one episode where a girl said she robbed a bank, and I'm like, I don't believe you, but
Yeah, that's the thing of it. And then again, they had that story coming up again because they're doing Brooklyn 99 or something like that here, and then because they're doing it here, that stirred up the same story because they went really against the casting, which was actually more Hispanic, which now they didn't really want to apply because they mentioned, because it was it's difficult. But I have to say, I'm not gonna talk about it. But at the same time, I do see that it is a process. I decided that I wanted to be more about the solution, and I not have kids. Besides my bird, but my point being is that if I can contribute socially as an actor, is to try to get myself out there. So because myself, I think if I had seen on air, on screen, or in the TV set, someone that kind of looked like me, even my family could have said, yeah, give it a try. But it was so not out there that for me, just, of course, I just discarded it. Now my point being that if I could give someone else the push that they need to want to go there and to continue and to persevere, because it's difficult for everyone. It's the hardest thing I've ever done in my life. Now for once in my life, it's clear what I want to do,
okay.
but I think that the problem being is that there's no one there to relate to, because there's no one like me, or
Yeah.
even kind of like you in Mafia Inc. But it's trying to get those people on screen as it's not because they're playing a cop and they're not playing, trying to get them and those, and it's been said and oversaid, and it's a bit,
Mhm.
we get a bit blasé about it. But I feel that the only thing is just to keep at it.
Oh yeah,
And Lonely
absolutely.
Cat seems to want to go out of the box. So luckily they're getting those diverse casts out there. So thank you. Thank you.
Yeah. Oh no, David Magini, Anthony Calabrese, and everyone working on that. They're
So
fantastic
Rosie.
people. It's now. So we spoke about obviously roles that you want to do. What are the roles that you really despise? Like you're like
Despise.
oh, okay, no, okay,
Wow.
hold
No,
on,
no, no. I
hold
like it. I like it. But
on.
it was
Okay,
actually, I wasn't expecting the question because, of course, I like my training because my training, I'm taught to never despise a character. You
okay,
cannot just, it's, if you go there, you're kind of freaking, going to have a harder time to be credible because, of course, you're going to be in judgment. But that is, of course, in the most idyllic way of seeing it. But if I would really have a hard time to suspend the disbelief for a
Mhm.
character, I think it would be something along the line, of course, being a female. I think violence to children, I would have a very hard time playing a woman, a mother who is a violent mother. And sadly, and of course, we haven't mentioned the COVID thing, but we know that children are isolated and are exposed to more and more violence as they probably ever have because they don't even have that school space where they were seen and they were, kind of more maybe monitored as what was going on. So, and that really is the part for me that I'm finding difficult in all this because I relate to children and to adolescents. Maybe
Mhm.
c'est la quinquado. We call it a
Right.
quinquado, la quinquado en moi.
Okay.
But yeah, that would be tough for me to go there. Although, kind of want to full circle it. We also know it's not an excuse that usually violence comes from violence. A parent who is violent usually has it, in its home environment as a child. So, but that being said, that's why it's so difficult. It's the
Mhm.
cycle, the vicious cycle of the violence that is hard to break. But that would be difficult for me to go there. Yeah, yeah. And you?
Wow, hold on. Before I answer that went full dark, like 360 degrees.
You
I
asked the
know, but I
question.
didn't actually. No, but here's the thing. Like here's the thing that's awesome about you. Like, I didn't actually think that you're actually gonna go deep into do it because I asked other people like, so what's your role that you want to don't want to do, and they're all like, yeah, I wouldn't do a superhero role because it's obnoxious and annoying. And I'm like, all right, but now I'm like, holy shit, like my heart
Superhero.
sank.
I
Yeah.
love doing Catwoman. You
Oh,
hear
okay,
that, Dave?
okay. You know what? You know
I
what?
love to wear that suit, man.
Or Batwoman. Oh,
Cat.
okay. Okay. Actually, no. There was a funny thing. Actually, one of the auditions that, because now we're on the subject. One of the auditions was that I had to play a child trafficker, so I'm reading this, and I'm like, this really doesn't suit me. He goes, yeah, but it's all acting. I'm like, okay. Because at one point, like I literally had to grab kids and throw them in a white van or a black van because I'm like let's spice it up and put it in a black van. Let's give vans some ethnicities. So at one point I had to round up the kids. I'm like, okay, listen, me fuckers. All right, we're gonna go here today. I really I don't know. That's role I don't like doing because kids are amazing little shit people and I just don't see myself just being violent to kids or elderly people. So when they were saying, "Hey, you're gonna play a child trafficker," and I'm like, "Wow,
Yeah,
yeah."
yeah,
Like, can I wear a wig that has long, like the one of those Russians that have like long hair to tie in the back?
yeah.
Can and those leather jackets? Can I have that? He goes, "No, just be yourself." I'm like,
Hmm.
and the reason why I didn't take it is because obviously I do stand up comedy, and because I have, well, I mean, before the pre-pandemic, I have a job, so I don't want people to think, hey, look,
Yeah, yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah, like I don't,
Sometimes, we all know this is an acting gig, but sometimes something sticks to you, and then after
yeah,
that, it's a little bit difficult to, rub it off. Yeah,
yeah,
I can hear that. Those are those choices as an actor that,
yeah,
you can either get stuck to it, and then you're stuck with it for for longer than you would want to. But then again, it can make your career. So you see what I mean?
Oh, exactly. Like, you know, like if Joe Rossi, David Magini, or Melanie come up to you and go, hey, do you know Claudio? And you're like, oh, yeah, that guy. He touches it. Like, yeah. I see, he played a role of a pedophile. I'm like, oh, thanks. I really enjoyed that. I really enjoyed that you said that.
Although they were great actors who did those roles were amazing. I think Kevin Bacon had one of those roles were freaking amazing. So I wasn't confused, but I have to say, you know.
Yeah, I know. You know what? Like, kudos to them. Like James Gandolfini did a movie called The Young and the Mighty, where it's basically it's based off of books. So you have like a little like a short teenager his interiors are growing, but his body isn't. So he's been given like months until the end. There's this big like bully, and his big bully has no brain. But the kid's like, "I'm gonna help you get smarter if you help me stand my fears." But then James Gandolfini plays the son, the father of the bully, and he's a child trafficker. And I'm like, wow. Yeah. This is really. By the way, we're going really dark on this, huh? I never really.
I don't know. I don't. You know, for me, I'm not sure. You know, dark, light. I mean, it's life.
Exactly.
It's just life. I mean, you know, and and the other thing is that I think we need to talk about these things.
Oh,
because then if not, they just grow on their own, and they grow in the dark, and it goes, you know, not necessarily where we put some light on it. Put some, you know, and have those conversations, even if they're difficult. I think that's very important.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah. But we can still have a laugh while we're doing it. That's how I like it.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly.
I love the laugh.
Exactly. That's what's most important about this. So let's go into a little bit about movies now. So what kind of your favorite movies do you like, and what's your favorite movie? And
well, I gotta say, I'm kind of a romantic in movies. I actually have. That's the thing that I actually transpose my need for romantic love through cinema. Thank God for that. So there are so many beautiful ones, and of course, with the acting, I can have like both of the best worlds. So one that comes from mind is one of those classics: is The Bridges of Madison County, with Meryl Streep and Clint Eastwood. I mean, he did the directing for that. Even the bande sonore the music is fabulous. The photography of it is beautiful, and the acting. It's heartbreaking, that love that's never going to happen. So that's one of my faves that I actually kind of go back to every once in a year. No, I won't. I promise. The Titanic is not one of them. I would not go there. But in a funny way, which one I do like, it's Jerry Maguire. I love Jerry Maguire because, of course, it is funny. And there's that romantic thing going on, and that, where he breaks down, and then his mentor, that always claps, and you have to get up in the morning and go for it. I love the whole, and of course, Cuba Jr., that actually won an award for that as a football player. Everything melt into that. It's that's one of those moments that I like to sit down and watch it again. What does he say?
So I'm looking back. So David G says Catwoman. What a terrible film. You can reboot it, Julie. And then he said Titanic, and then he said great film. I think it was about Jerry Maguire.
Yeah. Okay. Well, yeah. So then I guess I'll wear the Catwoman costume for Halloween only. Or I love that face. You have some great subtitles when you don't talk.
Okay. Yeah. So keep it. Yeah. So also, do you like any like action films? Because that's how I got into cinema. Actually,
action films. I'm not too much, into action films. I can actually appreciate them because it's all the work that it demands. The most action film I think I really enjoyed was The Matrix. That comes to mind for me, but of course it had to do with much more. But that I have to say, the 99 Agents and all that, I mean, that was crazy work. But if not, I kind of, I like the work to see the actors. For me, that's the most important thing, being myself an actor. So Yeah. So, but I don't know. I get, I sit there and I wait until the action kind of goes, and then, I don't know. It's maybe the female en moi. Sometimes I think I'm much more feminine than I think, but that's just moi.
You see this, ladies? See this, ladies? Matrix.
Maybe.
Matrix.
Yes.
Because a lot of, I mean, like, I'm not going to sound like a prick, but a lot of girls, like, they see the Notebook, Jerry Maguire, and all the
Yeah.
other. And then I'm like, action films, like, ugh. I was on set for a Home Alone reboot, and then I was on break, and I'm like, oh, so what are your favorite action films? She goes, I fucking hate Matrix. I hope it dies. I'm like, gee, oh,
Oh, that's horrible. That is so good.
I know. And then she goes, do you like Matrix? I'm like, yeah. Well, fuck you. I'm like,
Oh, what?
what?
Huh?
Huh.
Oh, okay.
Like, if it was Matrix 3, I'd understand, but the first one?
Yeah. And there's so many others out there. And I'm also into series.
Me too.
So there's so many wonderful ones. Thank God for Netflix in a way. So there. So I want to say what This Is Us. I mean, as dramedy goes, I mean, for me, it's one of the ultimate dramedy. The acting is so sublime. It's crazy. And La Casa del Papel. Oh, action. There you go. La Casa del Papel. That is action that I've actually adore again and adore again. Those crazy bankers or robbers of the, oh my God, that is so, and it's Latino. So there's that Latino, Spanish, explosion of passion and temperaments, and I love it. I watch it in Spanish too. Might as well, since I'm gonna be here for a couple of days into my apartment. So what I like to do, and well, I've got to be more than honest than that. I cannot watch something that is translated.
Oh yeah, no, same thing. I can't.
Oh, okay, there you go.
Like,
did you see Dark? That's Danish.
Yeah.
Love that. My God, subtitled it the whole way.
Yeah, no, what was it, like, District 31, like, they had it, they translated it, and even Unité 9, they had it translated in English. I'm like, who's ever the translator? I can't.
Translate it? I didn't know that.
Oh no, I only did for a few episodes, and then I couldn't watch it anymore. Just like the same thing when you have the go talking, and there's that translator who translates in English.
Yeah.
But if you pay really close, hey, Skyflame 28, he's Peter Bowen, the co-producer of Dirty 4. Hello.
Hey, hello, good morning.
so that's why I can't stand when politics. It's not the fact that politics are talking; it's the fact that the translator is translating everything they're saying from French to English.
Yeah.
But the translator has no idea what they're saying. I'm like, that is definitely like, look, I know my French, mate, that's like, I have no idea. Like that's not what they're saying, like, at all. And then that sometimes, like, either translations, even for TV shows, I'm like, they're talking about, like, how the sun, like, is sunny, like, has nothing to do with the episode. What the hell am I watching?
I think it's apocalypse TV.
Yeah, I know, exactly. No, it's it's pretty. It's pretty weird. So, before we came on live, you also mentioned that you had your have radio show.
Yes.
This is it, Les Biscuits.
Yeah.
Les Biscuits Chinois. Do you mind telling the viewers what this is about?
Oh, no, I do not mind at all. Au contraire. Les Biscuits Chinois is actually started with a group of my crew, which I actually adore. And at some point we said that if we like, spending time together, obviously, and, chatting about and, whatever. And I said, what would happen if we would kind of try to make this into something that we could build and create and, and I have a very good buddy whose name is Marc-Hugo Dupré. Mm-hmm. He's actually one of the kingpins of CFNG. Mm-hmm. And Marc-Hugo said, well, actually, what we could try to do is actually put a radio show on and see what happens. So that's pretty much what happened. And then one night we sat down and said, okay, so what's the slot? We have Thursday from 10 to midnight, every Thursday. And so that's 2 hours. What do we want to do? And so we actually put that together in maquette together to send into the station so they can see what we're going to be about. So we actually had a couple minutes at the beginning where everybody would say what they're doing in their day and their week and vice versa.
Mm-hmm.
And then after that, we would have René, who's called as René Potvin, who does fish and chicks. René actually goes deep sea diving for fish and women. So that would be his bit. So he had 17 minutes about his bit about the deep sea diving, whether with the chicks or with the fish and chicks. And then after that, we'd have Noël Fontcroix, who's a sommelier, he's a full into wine and everything that has to do with wine. And so we would have a degustation of wine with Noël would bring in these fabulous wine, and we would go back and forth, and he would try to teach us about le tannin and everything that has to do with wine would be really funny as well. Then we would have Marie-Christine Blais, who's a journalist also at Radio-Canada. Marie-Christine is into music. And so she would have her 17 minutes of music, and she would go everywhere with that about bands, la musique traditionnelle or rock and roll. She's interviewed so many famous musicians. And so Marie-Christine would have her bit. And the show would close with moi. And I would become Miss Bleu Nuit. Do you remember Bleu Nuit on TV years ago, which actually would be soft porn?
Yeah, folks who's watching, you remember Bleu Nuit? I never saw Bleu Nuit.
Yeah, but you may be a bit too young with it. So it's the beginning of soft porn on TV, and that became moi, which is Miss Bleu Nuit, and obviously what I would talk about is sex. And it was actually kind of interesting because I kind of threw it out there for fun because everybody was doing, I'm going to do that, I'm going to do that, and I said, well, I'm going to do sex, and everybody said, yeah. And I said, I'm joking. And they didn't laugh. And they go, no, I think that would be a good thing. But the funny thing was, it wasn't that easy for me to do once I got on air, because then I was afraid to be stuck with, oh, I know, the girl that talks about sex.
Typecasting, yeah.
Yeah, and or worse, does Pharmacie Jean Couty want to hire the actress that talks about sex on air? I was kind of feeling a little bit, but then that was interesting because I thought, here I am being, a feminist in a way, being one of the women that wants to be free of who she is and to be autonomous in that and be independent and be sexually active or inactive if I want to, and feeling myself that I was censoring my own self on my own show. And that was a very beautiful process for me because I thought, être une femme libérée, tu sais, c'est pas si facile. It is true. To be a liberated woman, there's actually, you need to have those, I was going to say those balls, but, you have the spine. You have to be, at the same time, my mom was listening to the show.
Oh, dear God, no.
Exactly. And I knew she would listen in, so that was also a little bit weird. So at the beginning, I started talking about relationships and avoidance and the traumas of being intimate, and then finally I opened up, and I really opened up, no pun intended. But then my mom, every time she would listen to the show, she said, no, you would bring it with intelligence. At the same time, I'm not, a sex therapist in any way, so I can't, give any prescriptions, but we can open the topic. I would actually ask people about their sex lives. That was also very interesting. We talked about masturbation. We talked about vibrators. We talked about threesomes. We talked about, whatever would come up. And actually we had listeners who actually would write to me and say, Julie, how about next week you talk about this or that? And this is when that became also interesting because I realized that people are listening?
No, people are listening when I talk about sex?
Yeah, oh my God, are they listening really? And then those numbers kind of went up, and I was fascinated. I thought, Miss Bruni, there you go. So she came alive, and we kind of had a good time until pandemic.
Yeah,
But, you know.
stupid pandemic. See, I was gonna tune in and I was gonna listen to Madame Le Nuit. Okay, goddamn pandemic. Okay, even Skyflame 28. We're gonna listen together, take down some notes, and be like, all right, this is what we're gonna do. This is what we're not gonna do. But no, oh wow, it's something. Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
We switched it around to go back on air, and it was called Biscuit Chinois en quiz. So we were quizzing people. You know, we had this two big quiz, like a hockey match. You know, with every 20 minutes, then a short period of time off, and then another 20 minutes of quiz. And we were going back to the Miss Blue Nuit at the end of the show, but then the station said, you know what, sorry guys, you can't be six in the studio. We're gonna have to, put it on ice until. So, but hey,
Yeah. No,
let's talk about sex now.
all right, go ahead. You know what? Go ahead. This is hey. You know what? You're the guest. You go ahead.
Well, we were saying before we went on air to all these people that it kind of gets a toll on your sexual life, this pandemic, and being isolated. That we were saying that.
Actually, no. You know what?
Go.
Before we continue, Joe Ross is like, there was a horse in Bleu Nuit, and then Dave Magini's like, yep. And Joe Ross is like, need to watch that one. And then Peter Bowen's like, who did the horse though? Wait, there was a horse? There was a horse in Bleu. Oh man, I need to
can't remember that. No, I don't remember.
Oh my god, me neither. I don't remember. No, I don't remember Bleu Nuit because first of all, when people spoke about Bleu Nuit back in the day, I'm like, okay, this is like PG. This is like PG pornography. What the hell is? And then people are like, oh, look at this. It's like those little cracker teddy bears. Like they're doing like a sex. I'm like, what the hell is this? But and now during the pandemic, I'm like, all right, listen, no, I'm single, so I'm like, all right, good for me.
Mm-hmm.
But everyone around me is like, oh man, no, I miss sex.
Actually, the last radio show I did was I did a 5-minute little segment on people in their sexual lives and being isolated. And you know what's actually booming? It's virtual orgies. They're booming. Actually, so much so that Zoom had to crack down on it because they were tired of people using the platforms to have virtual orgies. True story.
Were they going live with this shit?
Yeah. Well, you had to get into the group, the Zoom group.
Because it was okay. Yeah, because
you had the invitation. You have to have whatever the password. I don't know. But anywho, my point being is that at some point in the Zoom group, you would end up like 30, 40, 50 people doing their thing in their own home, and you can actually, interact with whatever, or close up with whatever, or show whatever.
That is honestly
actually working. It's actually now there's sites that are actually specifically doing that. So now if you want to be on that, you have to pay a certain amount, and then you get access to the group. Not to show your face.
Yeah. No, asking for Skyflame 28, we have to pay for this because
Yeah, some of them we have to pay to get access to the site, to the group. I heard that something like between $20 and $30, 10 to 30. Let's go $10 to $30 because there's euro in there. There's a lot of European sites that are actually doing that right now, and I think they're probably picking up as we're speaking because back to confinement until maybe Christmas. I think they might be getting a lot of publicity going on.
Do you see there's like a lot of urine going on? I thought
you said urine. No.
No. I thought honestly, I thought you said urine, but you meant Europe, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
But you know what I want to say to that is that we normally hear what we want to, Claudio.
Yeah, okay. Peter Bowen's like OnlyFans all day. You know what? Actually, you know what? Everybody can have my OnlyFans. You know what? Dave Magini might have Lonely Path Films OnlyFans.
Actually, that could be a great way to fund the next movie. They're working on a feature film, Dave. We should actually have that going on, and maybe we could actually finance it. Go and have a virtual orgy and finance the film. There we go. I got it. It's settled. Just kidding.
Hey, listen, you know what? Each your own, you know what? But no.
They say that we have to reinvent ourselves as artists.
Oh yeah, absolutely, absolutely.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
Oh, which reminds me, there was also a fun fact on the last Blue Nuit, or one of the shows that radio shows. The fun fact being that there's this 80-year-old woman in Japan. She became a widow, and she had a horrible life with her married husband at the time. He would not let her anything. She was confined to her house without the pandemic. Anywho, this guy, let's call him a guy, whatever, he dies. And let's not forget, she's 80. She goes into pornography. She's one of the most famous actresses right now in her group age, but not even. And she's into porn now, and she's 80.
Oh my God.
Why not?
That is amazing stuff.
Yeah, she decided that she's going to go out with a bang, and she's not going to let YOLO. She's going to YOLO, and he's dead, and she missed out on a lot, and she's having a lot of fun.
Man, can you just imagine her having like sex on the scene, and all of a sudden she just goes flat, and then
that would be amazing. Wouldn't that be the best way to go?
No.
Oh hell yeah.
Oh fuck! You know what? No, especially me. It's like I don't want them finding my body. Like, oh, how did he die? And you see me on the floor. I'm like,
oh, you meant okay? No, I meant you being in a scene and having this huge orgasm and stroking out. I mean, I thought it was ultimate best stroking out with an orgasm, or while or because whatever. I mean, I think that's a perfect way. En français, they do say that orgasms is called la petite mort, small death. That's it. Small death is an orgasm. So put the small death to the big departure, which is obviously the big death. I mean, perfect.
So, ladies and gentlemen, Julie Barbeau is going to be in an upcoming film. It's called
Night Shift 2.
Melanie is like, will you guys hire extras? And then Peter Bowen, the casting couch, and then David's like, you guys are more than welcome. And then he goes 80-year-old vagina, I hope it's not dusty. Actually, oh man, no,
not anymore. Thank God for her.
I'm intrigued to how you know this, Julie. Please elaborate.
Because on the radio show, we have somebody that his job is to find a fun fact every show. So one of the last shows, he showed up with this fun fact. And actually, I could Google it. So, if you're into GILFs, I could actually find that show, and actually could give you the link, and we could actually put it down there, because that's what we do on our radio shows. That we have the show for 2 hours. Obviously, we put the link of the show, and underneath that, we put everything we talked about. So if people want to click on it, we put down everything that was talked about, and then they just can click on or click off or whatever. Anyways, my point being is that you could actually put it under this podcast. Maybe she has a web page. I hope she does. There's that subtitles under. So what are you going to dream about, Claudio?
I don't even know, honestly. Oh man, this 80-year-old girl. Oh man, now you've seen everything. Oh my God, Night Shift 2. It'll be a prequel. Actually, since we're on this topic, there was so I had an idea for a film. It was easy about it's based on like how Brazzers was found, but I couldn't use the name Brazzers, so I'm like, it's two best friends who are complete virgins, okay? They have nothing about sex, and they want to make a sex like a porn company.
Wow, how old are the virgins?
Oh, I made the script when I was like 17 years old, but then I reread it today, and I still kept it. It was handwritten, and I'm like, what the fuck? Like, when you look at your work that you've done like years and years ago, and like how dumb was I back then? I'm like,
not dumb. No. I don't agree with that. It's not dumb. It's where you were at the time, and I think working through some fantasies.
Yes, really was. It really was.
Yes.
So Skyflame 28 wants to know So this radio show, did you guys have my OnlyFans?
No, we did not. We did not.
Okay.
We did not, but now I'm thinking maybe we should have. But no, we did not. It was aired on live every Thursday from 10 to midnight. And then, of course, you could go back to La Rediffusion.
Yeah.
The application of the the radio station.
Yeah. So Dave Magini, Lonely Path Films, you guys should have a My OnlyFans. Putting it out there, my OnlyFans. Actually, I didn't know what my OnlyFans was until like a few months ago.
Yes, in here, and I'm still not quite sure, but apparently it's actually a very good way to go get fans.
Yeah. So afterwards for the podcast, I was talking with my members. Peter Bone is one of them. Like, hey guys, I was serious about this. So, guys, we should have a My OnlyFans. And he looked at me as if I was like, bro, are you okay? And I'm like, yeah, we should have a My OnlyFans, because I thought it was like a Patreon thing for a podcast. But it turns out to be My OnlyFans is, for Triple X.
Is it okay if we talk about Triple X?
Listen, okay, you can talk about whatever you want. Listen, you're the guest. Like, go ahead. Like spill to them. Skyfall, I didn't ask that. Quiet, Peter. Quiet. Dave Magini, I'll talk to the team. Good job. And you know what? Julie's gonna be the
producer.
Yes. But you know what? Let's not use a black couch instead. Let's use let's be creative and use another color couch.
Okay.
There you go. See, I'm spinning ideas for all of you. You know.
Auditions. I think we're going to have a lot of auditions.
Yes, we do. Look, most of them women, and as you mentioned, there should be more multicultural women, because hey, you know what? It's 2020. Every ethnic person deserves their own story. And there should be like at least two guys, like myself and Peter Bone, who should definitely be in this movie. I don't know about you. I like Peter. You're coming with me. We're definitely going to be in this movie.
More shall be revealed.
Yes, only on my OnlyFans though.
Reveal. You get it?
Yes. I think we got that.
Okay.
Okay, so
sex, as soon as that's out there, it's insane. I experienced it a couple of times on the radio show, because we would have guests sometimes. But it's still so true that it's such a subject that obviously is universal, but it brings up so much stuff. I mean, to the comfortable, to the uncomfortable, to the it's like everybody's always there's always a moment where I can feel the energy. It just freaking rises again, no pun. But it's fascinating, It's really fascinating,
Oh, yeah, no. I'll be honest with you. Sometimes, like when I'm out in public and friends and I talk about sex, like unless I'm not close to them, I'll be like, shh.
You can still do that. Yeah, there is a taboo about it.
No, I don't know what it is. I don't know. It's because
I felt it myself, And another moment that was beautiful in radio is that actually when I did the masturbation sequence on the show, the next later there was this woman that works that lives in a CHSLD, so they're kind of old people. This woman wrote to say that she actually had decided to masturbate, and she actually she hadn't done it in years. She slept like a baby, and the following night she said she did the same thing, and she said, you know what? I think I won't be taking any sleeping pills anytime soon anymore, because she went back to it.
Jesus Christ. Was this woman also 80 years old too?
Well, she kind of had to be around. I think she said to me, if I remember correctly, I think she said something like 73. But she hadn't done it in years. But after listening to the show, because I was doing this segment on how the benefits of masturbation, how healthy it is, and I was going on and on. And so so how powerful is that in a way?
Holy fuck, that's real. You know what?
Yeah.
You know what? For the past 3 years, I've been drinking tea. I've been taking sleep medication, and I'm like, oh man, I can't. I'm like, But then people are telling me like, no, it wasn't my girlfriend, it wasn't my wife. And I'm like, That's good. So I'm just there, like before the comedy show, I'm drinking like wine and tea, like, and then my heart's like pacing. I'm like, okay. And then people are like, so now I understand, bro. You need to get laid, because that's a maximal thing to say. Actually, because on night shift, a little anecdote about that, because I was going through a breakup, and that weekend I was supposed to go do a show in the West Island, or I was supposed to go see a girl that we didn't Paris. So I chose the film, but then Massimo saw me like I was really tense, I was really nervous, but I didn't tell anyone this because I was hiding it. And then the reason why I was laughing when Massimo was choking me is because A, it's Massimo, B, it's still Massimo, and then C, I'm like, damn it, now I understand how it feels like when I'm choking someone, and I'm like, Jesus Christ. But no, but that's good. That's good. The fact that people phoned you and told you that on air. Hey, I have a question for you.
No, she wrote in 2 days later. She wrote in.
Okay, she wrote in. Okay,
she wrote in. Yeah.
Okay. So three things. Dave says you're killing me right now, Julie. And Skyflame, Night Shift 3, Dirty Holes and Fisting Bandits.
Oh la la.
And then Melanie is
for the boys.
And Melanie, that girl wasn't ready. 3 times a day habit. I'm like, oh, okay.
That's healthy. That's I can
Jesus Christ, man. Honestly, I'm like, well, God damn. I'll be honest. Okay.
The world would go much better if everybody had that kind of a habit. Honestly.
Yeah, I know. But,
a lot of things would go much smoother.
Absolutely. You know what? I'm gonna agree with you there. Like things will go much smoother if that happened. But since we're dealing with stress and anxiety and depression,
exactly. I mean, they actually taught at some point of teaching it in school, but no, that didn't go through well. But it was actually on the topic of happening that to talk about it in a younger age, but there's too much resistance and and stupidity and judgment around it. But anyhow, luckily, when I have carte blanche, and that's the thing also, and I'm going to also mention it, is that because of the fact that I am a minority, there is also that stigma of being, because she's a Black woman, she must be so hot, and she then so I was a little bit stuck in the fact that I didn't want to have that the Miss Blue Nuit and the sex thing. And then I said, nah, don't go there. That's a beautiful platform that you can offer, and having intelligent conversations. And it doesn't even have to do with anything of that. But I had to kind of also go there and say, there's those stereotypes that you go.
Yeah, absolutely. Since you brought that up, friends of mine, they were dating ethnicities, right? And a friend of mine who was dating, like a beautiful half African and half Spanish, And then he knew people that were saying, oh, she's Black, elle est noire, oh man, she must be good in bed,
there you go.
You see, for example, like for me, look, I'm a stand-up comedian, and I love all kinds of jokes, So, but if let's just say like we knew each other very well, and I would say it as a joke because the way I sound and the way I am. But if I'm a stranger, I'm like, hey, she must be fucking like having sex really good, and then I'm like, I draw the line. Like my friend got pissed, and he's like, it was his cousin actually, and he was singing. He goes, oh, careful, huh? You have jungle fever, and then he's like, what? Like
jungle fever? Wow!
I had no idea. I actually brought that up once. I had a fever, and my guys, I think I have the jungle fever. And the comedian just looked at me, gave me the dirty look the whole night. I'm like, oh shit! Now I know what that means. But
yeah, exactly.
That's like here, like the thing is, with ethnic minorities, right? Like people play that card of, because you're an ethnic minority person, you must know a lot about sex, right? And that's what a little bit makes me cringe.
It should. It has nothing to do, in a way, because that the only thing that it has to do is that it's a stereotype, and then it just goes on, from one family to another to whatever, until people say, hey, that's not exactly how that works. But that's why at some point I decided to bring it up, because it's not that people who are listening do not know that. But still, I feel that in a way that, that is also a platform that can be, just maybe sometimes we just need either a refresher, or maybe it will, maybe trigger another thought that, whatever. So I just, think it's important to be said. And like I said, I even myself hesitated to go there because I didn't want to perpetuate it. But at the same time, I felt like I was blocking my own expression. So I had to find my way, into it, and not censor myself doing it, and finding my voice in it, as I'm talking about it. But it was actually a really cool process. And I can see now as I'm talking to you, and I'm feeling much more comfortable. But, you would have got me 2 years ago. I'm not even sure I would have brought it up quite yet,
Oh yeah, no, it's great. It's great that you're saying this. Hey, no more power to you. But actually, I was saying thing. Honestly, when I first went into actually, this brought me back years ago. I was in college. I was the kind of guy who was afraid to go to strip clubs because I was so shy as heck. So I want to go see a strip. I'm like, so I get really like nervous and I'd be pasty white, like sweating. I come out of there. I'm like, oh man, like I don't know what to feel, you know. But I'm like, but I'm like, even like for me, sometimes like I get embarrassed sometimes. So my friends are like, hey, I know. So I went out with my girlfriend. I'm like, shh, don't talk about sex. Don't mention. No. Because I don't know what it is. I guess I'm still embarrassed, but if I'm alone and if I'm with you and like people I'd be comfortable with, I'd be like, so guys, it's good. It's good. So you see, but then if I go on a date, like I went on a date before before the first pandemic, I was nervous. She goes, yeah, no, I like sex. Shh, don't talk. No.
Really?
Yeah. And she goes, so do you watch? No, don't. Shh, we're in public. No, I don't know what it is. I really don't know what it is, but maybe I'm gonna get over it someday. But
well, at the same time, I want to say, it's almost like feeling like therapy right now. But
yeah, no.
I want to say this. I like, why would you need to get over it? No.
Oh yeah, no, I just,
see what a part of you are right now, and in this moment in your life story, and that is cool. It's like we don't need to talk about it. It's like at some point you'll feel comfortable enough, and that's and I have to say though, I do like talking about it.
Yeah.
But nothing comes down to doing it. So at the same time, if you're really comfortable doing it, who cares about how you talk about it? Oh my God. There's that subtitle again.
I'm like, oh, this is really therapy moment. And then when you pull out the last one, I'm like, well, all right.
I did.
Would you ever bring back le biscuit chinois?
Oh yeah, we're planning on it.
Oh, nice.
Oh yeah. So hopefully at some point we're safe enough. We want to, because for me, it's radio is new as an actor. You try different things, so it's a new medium. It's interesting because I didn't get it quite, at the beginning. I'm still kind of not. I'm always intrigued by the fact that people would be interested, like I mentioned earlier. But I kind of get more the medium of what it is, radio, and of course we have such a great time doing it. And people are actually, telling us, a lot of good things about it. And because we touch so many different subjects, it's like vignettes. We don't get caught in one thing. And then, of course, there's the music, and then there's the wine, and then there's, So, yeah, it's kind of for a 2-hour show. It's kind of, well, we definitely want to try to go back to it when it's time. Now we're reinventing, and we might end up doing podcasts. Who knows?
Oh yeah, actually, no. That's one of the last things I want to bring up. Like that. That's why, honestly, when you were telling me this, and then you told me, you were on the radio, and and I've been hearing a lot of I would say both sides of the story, both good and bad about radio. But then I'm saying like podcasts is a way to go, especially during the pandemic. Podcasts are making its way. And now you're telling me radio is also making its way. I'm like, all right, well, basically what I'm trying to say is that, like you should make a podcast and I should be your guest on the show. I want to try being the PG guy. Like, no, I don't want to. Come on to the next room about actual football stuff. But no, it's honestly, it's really, really, really fun. Yeah. So, people who are watching, do you have any comments, any questions that you all want to ask Julie Barbeau? If it's questions about more film related topics, let's keep this.
Yes, I am still single.
Hey, listen, I didn't want to go there, but I'm single too. Dave's in a relationship. Peter, Joe's like, okay, so all right. So
actually, that's a thing also that's really interesting. In the last couple months, a lot of my female girlfriends are now all in relationships. It's fascinating. And I mean girlfriends that have been single for a very long time. And one after the other, I actually found out another one yesterday. It's like it's fascinating. And I have to wonder if it's not also part of that pandemic where now it's like there's not as much possibilities. So now maybe we're a little bit more into looking into who's in front of us right now. I think we are more into trying to know who's in front of us right now.
Oh, absolutely. But you know what? At the same time, I find it's pretty hilarious because I know some people, not my close friends, but I know some people who are like, oh yeah, no, I'm never gonna find a girlfriend or a boyfriend. Oh, I'm never going to do this or that. And then after a few months later, let me tell you something. Like I felt like, for example, like Massimo. Like I saw Massimo. Massimo's like 40 something. I'm like Massimo's gonna be a Mama Luke for the rest of his life. And then I turn around, I'm like, son of a bitch, he's married. Holy shit.
Yeah. So at the same time, that's the beauty of all. My glass is always, like I like to say, is always half full. I mean, it is a shitty time, but at the same, I have to say, there's when you look at it from the other angle, with the other hand, part of the stick in your hand. I mean, I don't know. I kind of feel like I want to use that to my advantage, and try to see what comes out of it, because at some point, the gates are going to open. I want to be in front of the gate when those gates open. I want to be ready. It's like I feel like I'm Rocky right now in my apartment, getting ready, get my craft down. I'm even taking more care of how I eat and how I sleep. And it's like, these gates are gonna open. I want to get ready for that. So, if I want to put something out there, although I know a lot of people are having a hard time, it's like there's a way I think that this can be used. And even, like this for me is like, I've never done these moments where I've interviewed like podcasts and I'm learning something different as well. And and actually, I don't even know if we would probably have met, maybe, of course, because of Night Shift. But, I've been meeting so many different people through this because it's so accessible. So
yeah,
I don't know. I just want to say, hey, let's, ça va bien aller.
Oh, wait, but you know what? I told you before we started live. Like I'm a bit pissed since that stupid decision of closing down bars and restaurants. But hey, I don't want to get into that because that's too political. So I don't know what you want to do. But I'm just saying like I had a lot of acting gigs, comedy gigs, and this stupid freaking lockdown is destroying everything.
Yeah.
But no, But see, the thing is, like for me, like dating, like I can't do that Zoom thing or talking because for me, I'm more of a face-to-face kind of person. So if I have to
mask,
that's the most. That's I don't know. I just can't. But I could hide my emotions. So if I know the night is going bad, I'm like, oh, she's not like she doesn't have to read my my mouth saying how bad this is. So maybe there's that.
Well, I've been looking into your eyes, Claudio, and I have to say there's a lot of things going down there. So I don't know. I don't know. I would say, I see the point, but at the same time, I don't know. It's like this, it's Mad Maxi. It's like you adapt or you die. I don't know.
Yeah,
it's
exactly.
like I feel like you're gonna. It's the dinosaur thing again. It's like, are you going to be? I don't know. So I don't know, or even just try it and put it in the sketch, So I have this gate, and so she comes up, and I come around, and I have my mask, and it ends up, having this moment of sketch comedy that could be really freaking funny in a way.
Oh yeah. That.
I was like, And I would, oh my God, your eyes are so talkative. I mean, I
No.
actually walk up to the girl and not say much, and I think I could do a lot too.
Oh yeah, no, actually, no, opposite. Like, when I was in a relationship, and then like one of my exes got mad at me, and she whipped me a shoe. But I somehow, I don't know, I got the shoe in the face, and then like she goes, "Hey, you're really sad. You're hurt." I'm like, "Yeah, well, you freaking threw a shoe in my face." She goes, I could see your emotions in your eyes right now," and I'm like, "Wow, thanks for pointing it out, Captain Obvious."
So that was the end of that, right?
Yes, that was.
Thank you.
Wait, this podcast or that story?
Well, I meant that story, but yeah, that ain't good. That ain't good.
Yeah, no. Jofo, Claudio's eyes tell 1,000 tales, and then you is right, girl. There's a lot of things. Okay, whatever. Okay, people. All right. So I think this is the part where we're gonna have to end it. But before we end it, can you plug in your stuff? Like, where can people see you? I mean,
Well,
work.
like right now, it's pretty slowish, as everyone knows. So I do have, of course, my own webpage, juliebarbeau.com. You can see my demos and some short films that I'm on or in. Night Shift is not out there yet because it's going into festivals. So because of that, yeah, we have to keep it under wraps for now, and hoping that it's going to do better and do actually well, because it is doing good. So if not, I'm going to be shooting, like I said earlier, on this new Québécois series. So that's going to be coming out only in January. Nice. So at the same time, the radio show, you could actually go to the link, and you could actually find our other radio shows that are actually on that Facebook page. So you can listen to the shows that we had prior to all this going on. And yeah, that's pretty much it. I'm going to be working also on a new theater show with Christine Rodriguez, excuse me. Christine is actually nominated for the Meta Awards for her, huge nomination for her play called Simone Half and Half. So Christine and I are actually partnering for a new theater show that we're working on. So we're going to be using the confinement to get our creative juices going, and and so get ready for the gates when they're really going to be able to go play out there.
Pretty good. You know what? I want to come see your play. I want to come.
It's not for now, but then you might have others yet. But that is one of the biggies. That is one of the biggest. Actually, that would be one of the culminating works of my life. Working with Christine and having that play out there, because it's going to be also based on our life stories as actresses.
Okay.
She's also an actress, so it kind of feels like it's a kind of full circle-ish, and so much more that I don't know that is coming. Yeah, I'm one of those,
Yeah, no. Honestly, same for me. So the only thing I could say is that this weekend, Dirty Four is going to go live at Agree or Disagree, and then Sunday night it's going to be the Dirty Four podcast episode 20. It's going to be Sunday nights at 8:30. So to everyone who's been participating in the group chat, thank you very much. From the bottom of my heart, thank you. We're going to be back here on Saturday. If you did not subscribe to Julie Barbeau's biscuit chinois, right? That's right, the biscuit chinois. Go ahead and do so. Subscribe to the Dirty Four podcast page on YouTube and on Facebook. And folks, that's been the episode for tonight. Julie, I hope we could work together when the pandemic is with Lonely Path Films.
Sure.
And did I forget anything? No,
Don't think so.
I don't think so. All right. So have a good night, ladies and gentlemen. See you back here on Saturday night at 8:30 with Luigi Costanza and the Dirty Four and Dirty Four episode 20. Have a good night, folks. Stay safe. We're gonna get through this.
Thank you, Claudio, for having me.
No problem. I'm gonna have you back. The Dirty Four are definitely gonna have you back. We're gonna talk more about the biscuit chinois. Later, everyone. Have a good night. Stay safe. Bye-bye.
Guys, stay safe.